You're listening to the Alan Alvarez Experience on AM 1130 and OC 882 KPHI.
And huwag nating kalimutan, 96.7 FM, ladies and gentlemen, as well as PinoyPowerMedia.com. May nagtanong sa akin kahapon, paano ba kayo mapapanoorin if we would like to see what's happening there at the studio. So, ang sagot dyan, PinoyPowerMedia.com, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much. And thank you to our guest this afternoon. And of course, thank you to Attorney Roda Yabes Alvarez. And so now, mga kababayan, nandito tayo sa ating segment na inaabangan weekly, linggu-lingguhan, dito po sa Alan Alvarez Experience. And here we are with the Conjun's Corner, ladies and gentlemen. And today, wala po si Consul General Julius na sa Pilipinas na po. But today, we have a very capable and very beautiful replacement, none other than our Vice Consul Joy Espinosa. Kamusta, Joy? Hello, Joy. Can you hear me? Hello, Joy.
Hello, Alan.
Hey.
Hi.
Kamusta?
Okay naman. Ikaw, kumusta rin?
Eto, same old, same old. No, how are you? Ano nang balita natin dyan sa konsulado ng Panlahat?
Eto, ako muna ang humahalili kay Conjen kasi the Consul General is currently in Manila to together with the Lieutenant Governor of Hawaii, si Lieutenant Governor Sean Tsutsui, to lead a trade mission. He went there ahead of the delegation to make things that everything will be okay upon arrival of the delegation. Kumbaga, advance party si Conjen.
Yes. So marami naman ang mag-a-attend dito sa trade mission?
I think last time na nabanggit sa akin ng trade mission chairperson nila, 48 na ang a-attend, comprising of business leaders from the banking sectors, members and leaders of our Filipino community, officials from Hawaii, from the Hawaii state, 48 individuals, and 2/3 are non-Filipinos.
Wow.
Yes.
Good. Congratulations on that. Marami yan. Malaking party yan.
Yes. I'm sure they prepared an impressive agenda in the Philippines. I hope they enjoy touring Manila, Makati, and Ilocos.
Yeah, those are great places to visit. So anyway, there was an article that came out. And ang nakalagay dito, help wanted. DFA needs foreign service officers.
Yes.
And it's always a question, madalas na tinatanong sa akin to ng mga listeners, how can people get a job at the Philippine Consulate?
Okay. Oo nga din. Hindi lang sa akin din, sometimes pag may namimit tayong Filipino sa mga functions, they would ask me rin because I think na nakikita nila ang kagandahan ng pagtatrabaho sa konsulado. Aside from being the representative of the country, marami rin kaming nakikilala. We contribute to many Filipino events.
Yes, parties.
Parties.
Puro party.
Yun nga eh. To work for the Philippine Consulate, you must be employed by the Department of Foreign Affairs. Because most of us here came from the Philippines, and we are sent here for a maximum tour of duty of 6 years. 6
years.
Yes, but pwedeng mas konti, 3 years. Cross-posted ka sa ibang consulate or embassy, but the maximum is 6 years. Now, the article that you mentioned to me, yung call ng DFA spokesperson heading
78 ang hinahanap nila. They're looking for 78 foreign workers, service workers.
78 foreign service officers. Kasi actually every year a lot would like to apply for a position as a career diplomats. Kasi an FSO, that's a position for career diplomats. They apply for they would like to apply for the exams, 500 usually, pero mataas din ang mortality rate. Like out of 500, last year 9 ang pumasa.
Why is that, Consul Joy?
'Di ba minsan it's quite hard to believe why it's like that. But the Department of Foreign Affairs would like to ensure that they get the best of the best. So a candidate would have to hurdle 5 examinations. Usually it takes a year for the entire process to be finished.
Really?
So if I may say, but that is the fastest way to be employed by the DFA and to be posted to different embassies and consulates worldwide.
Dapat ba magsimula ka sa certain, halimbawa, entry-level position bago ka mag-foreign service exam, or dapat mag-foreign service exam para makapasok ka sa DFA?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Tayo sa, like for example, sa consulate, meron tayong mga staff, meron din tayong officers. Now, the staff, the personnel, they entered the DFA without taking the Foreign Service Officers examination. What they did was they took the DFA exam na, administered by the office of yung personnel office namin ng parang HR. And then they have to pass the civil service eligibility exam. And then yun, pwede na sila magtrabaho sa DFA and be regularized and then be posted. It's a different case, Alan, for foreign service officers because the position requires leadership potential, academic accomplishment.
How about language?
Yes, that
one
really?
Too. Language too. Okay.
That one too, kasi it's part of the FSO exams. If for the interest of those who would like to apply, the five-part examination is composed of una, the qualifying examinations. It is administered by the Civil Service Commission, and then the second one would be the preliminary interview. Then after that, may written examination. Ang written examination is 3 days. The topics would range from world history, Philippine economy, international affairs, Filipino, English, and foreign language. So kapagod yun kasi longhand eh. Hindi
pwedeng computer.
Hindi computer, hindi typewriter, longhand, 3 days. And then after that, psychological examination. And then the last one would be the oral examination.
I like that psychological examination. Hindi, kasi that makes sure na, kasi represent mong Pilipinas eh. So, you have to be stable.
Yes, totoo yan. You have to also be well-grounded considering you have to live in this place and then transfer to another area, and usually pa ang trabaho ng foreign service officer pupunta sila sa mga war-torn countries, Libya, lalo na sa yung and to deal with the Filipinos, especially kunyari sa Middle East, Singapore. Yon.
So, is it right to say that Consul Joy na you took the foreign service officer exam?
Yes.
So you passed it apparently?
Yes.
With flying colors?
Basta pumasa ako, okay na. Pero actually, Alan, I was a contractual employee first.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was a contractual employee of the DFA, and then I took the exam. I didn't pass naman immediately, but then awa ng Diyos, ayun.
Wow. Congratulations.
Ay, thank you, Alan.
Mukhang mahirap yung exam na yan. 3 days, parang bar exam yan eh.
Kaya naman. Basta magbasa lang. If you are aware of current events, mahilig ka magbasa ng dyaryo, ng magazines, that would help a lot.
So kung pupunta ka sa, halimbawa, Middle East, then they would require you to learn the language before you go?
It's an advantage if you know how to speak Arabic.
Pero hindi naman kailangan.
Hindi naman din.
Okay.
Conversational Arabic, pwede na. Actually, before kami napopost, we we have foreign language training.
Really?
Lalo na yung mga non-English speaking countries.
Wow.
We undergo such.
Ang galing naman. Very nice, very nice. So if somebody from here, halimbawa,
Yes.
a second generation, thank you for explaining the exam. Yung halimbawa, they're second generation, they're Filipinos. They love the Philippines, but they never been there. They want to work. Ano ba? Pwede bang pumunta na lang doon or mag-apply, or what needs to happen?
Okay. What they can do is they can go first to the Philippine consulate kasi, and then submit the requirements, and then we will transmit it to Manila. Kaya lang iba ang kaso ng second generation Filipino Americans.
Okay.
Because you will be working for the Philippine government and you will be representing the Philippines to a host country, you have to have only one allegiance. So kung PhilAm ka, you have to renounce your American citizenship.
So this is only open for Filipino citizens.
Yes. Oo. Any work in the government, Philippine government, kailangan single allegiance lang. So yun ang kung masasabi natin trade-off.
So hindi kayo pwedeng mag-hire ng local Filipinos here para magtrabaho dyan?
Pwede. Meron kami mga local hires dito. But right now, there are no vacancies, and before we accept applicants, they have to go through proper channels, meaning we have to endorse their application to the DFA, to our home office, which in turn will approve or disapprove the application. It will depend, of course, on a lot of factors like the budget of the post, the number of staff complement in the post, and if additional personnel would still be necessary. But otherwise, the consulate is very open to accepting locals as long as there's vacancy and they are approved by the home office. So yun.
Okay.
So, yes, Alan.
Yeah, so meron din
Yes.
mga local hires and for what kind of position? I mean, hindi naman siguro officership position, siguro clerical or mga ganong klaseng trabaho. Okay.
Meron tayo, kilala mo si, hindi ko nababanggitin, pero meron tayong yung ating appointment secretary dito, tapos yung caretaker, tsaka yung nagmamaneho para kay Consul General. Yun ang tinatawag namin local hires. Kasi ang principle for hiring local hires is because they will be the one to help make things easier for the consulate staff and officers because they know their way around, they know the who to contact, and especially for the driver, alam niya yung pasikot-sikot dito sa
Siyempre,
Honolulu.
kailangan, importante yun. It's very important.
Yes. So I gave 2 options. One is to take the exams, foreign service officers and an officer exam, and then the other one, yung application for local hire.
Have you seen it happen, Consul Joy? Have you seen that a foreign national Filipino goes back and works for the DFA?
Wala pa naman so far. But ang pwede ko lang ding i-share is for example, I know of some of my female colleagues who married foreigners. They had to ask the permission of the secretary for them to marry foreigners. Yung mga ganun ba na kailangan na i-undergo ng isang diplomat.
Okay. Wow. So, di madalas din siguro nangyayari yun na Filipinos overseas marry foreigners.
Yes, marami.
Marami.
Siyempre.
Okay. Yeah, so, pero before that, you have to get the permission of the secretary.
If you will marry a foreigner, it's almost always granted. Siyempre, ano naman yan personal mo na yun
Siyempre, hindi naman siguro sabi, hindi pwede. That's gonna be tough.
Pero I don't think you can marry someone who works for the foreign ministry.
Oh, really?
Oo.
Security issues probably.
Yes, and the foreign government. Siguro kung businessman, private citizen,
Mayaman.
pwede. Oh,
Mhm.
culturally inclined yon. Sabihin natin ganon.
I like that. Culturally inclined.
Oo.
I like that, Joy. Very nice. Wow, thank you so much, Consul Joy. And
Well, you're welcome,
yeah,
Alan.
this is it's a common question,
Mm-hmm.
and thank you for more information, about that. And pero one more thing to go back to that article.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says here that the DFA does not only stamp visas and issue passports. There are these three pillars.
Okay.
Okay, this will apply also here. I assume at the Philippine consulate.
Yes.
The national security pillar, the economic diplomacy pillar, and the assistance to nationals and OFWs pillar.
Yes.
All of this kailangan yung i-uphold?
Yes, yan ang mantra namin, the three pillars of foreign policy. For example, ang kaso natin sa consulate, ang political, how do we do it, 'di ba? Andito tayo, meron tayong liaison sa PACOM, yan mga security, yung military, andito sila, 'di ba? And at the same time, we also meet with the Hawaii state officials. We do reports on our meetings with them.
That's the economic diplomacy.
That's political,
Oh,
more of
political.
government to government, more of like that. And security issues. Ang economic diplomacy, we attract investors to the Philippines. Kanina lang may kausap tayo, Alan, na Japanese investor.
Wow.
So that's part of economic diplomacy and the trade mission.
Yes.
And then assistance to nationals, yung consular services natin, passport, and then the plight of the Filipino fishermen, inaayos namin yon. Ganon.
Wow. Ang bigat ng trabaho.
Kaya naman, basta may tulong-tulong.
Wow, those are. So, what is your favorite out of those? National security, economic, or the
Cultural.
Cultural.
Pero
Yeah.
cultural falls under economic eh.
Oh, really?
So, siguro ang concentration ko dito sa post is more of economic. So, not necessarily my favorite, but I think I am more adept with that.
Oh, really? So, yung training mo din, I know that your training led you to a position in the United States.
I would like to think so.
Yes, because you worked for the department for, I think,
US division.
yes, for the US division.
Yes.
So ganun din ba kung halimbawa gusto mong pumunta sa Saudi or sa Hong Kong, would you vie for that position, those types of position to get you to the country you want to go?
Actually, it's not always the case. It's not a prerequisite. Ang gusto ko sabihin na siguro for me, I just got lucky. That's what I always say. Kasi you can be in the European affairs but would still be posted to Saudi Arabia. It depends, of course, on the needs of the department.
Oh, really?
Ganon yun. Kahit,
Ganun yan.
alam mo, nag-foreign language ako ng German, pero napunta ako sa US. Hindi talaga, because hindi talaga ganon ang nangyayari. We are expected kasi to be generalist. We are expected to do and know almost anything. That's the ideal
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
situation.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
You
Sprechen
see?
Sie? Ich heißen Sie. Ako din eh. I know ein bisschen. I know a little bit.
Yeah, ein bisschen Deutsch. It's sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch.
No,
Kalimutan ko na, ilang taon na yun.
Kasi I tell you, this is a page from the Alan Alvarez experience. Nagtrabaho ko sa Siemens for a very long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
with Siemens. So, they kind of required you to learn German. Pero nakalimutan ko na rin yun.
It gets rusty when you don't use it eh.
Yes.
Minsan pag nagkita tayo, mag-practice.
Sige.
Practice.
German tayo.
Nako.
Yeah. Let's have a meeting with. Actually, I think Consul General speaks German.
He speaks a lot of languages.
Yeah. He's so I guess he would be an example of a foreign service officer who has, adapted and learned languages through his career.
Totoo.
So your career path, Joylene, is actually heading towards an ambassadorship.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pero
Wow.
matagal pa yun.
Tagal pa ba yun? Is it
Oo.
hard? Is it hard to be to reach that level?
It will take time, mga
Mhm.
siguro give or take 30 years, 25 to 30 years.
Wow.
Ilang taon na ba ako ngayon? Plus, siguro
Oh my
retirement
God.
retirement na. I started in the foreign service. I was in my late 20s na. Pero ibang batchmates ko early 20s, so they may become an ambassador at 45 when
Wow.
they reach 45.
Wow.
So
Grabe. So talagang career yun. When you enter, talagang that's gonna be your career.
yes.
Yeah.
If with the grace of the Lord and with the help of family, and if it's really your calling, and then you hurdle all the challenges, it's a challenging but rewarding job, this career that we have chosen.
Wow.
So
Yes, and I see that you enjoy it very much, and I've seen. I know that karamihan sa inyo dyan, you really like working in foreign service.
mhm.
Yeah, so thank you for that and for being here and helping us promote the Filipino culture.
And thank you too
Mhm.
for your radio station, because this is an excellent avenue for us to convey to the public what we do, especially itong program natin, na ipaaabot natin sa mga tagapakinig kung ano ang pwede nilang asahan na serbisyong aming pwedeng maiabot sa kanila. So salamat, Alan, sa programang ito.
Yes, it is our pleasure. It is part of our service to the community, itong ating Conjun's Corner. So, so tell us, ano bang mga events coming up, Consul Joy?
Oo, yung sabihin ko ulit, yung Ambassadors, Consuls General and Tourism Directors Tour. We just launched it last Thursday, and we hope to attract more and more applicants for July 2013. The date is July 9 to July 15, 2013.
Okay.
And the highlight, of course, alam mo na, the courtesy call on the no other than the President himself, President Benigno S. Aquino III. Also, sabihin ko na lang din yung rates natin.
Go ahead, go ahead.
It starts for as low as $1,512. That's 4 days. It's 4 nights, 5 days, inclusive of round-trip airfare from Honolulu, Manila, Honolulu, and stay at EDSA Shangri-La Hotel, one of the premier hotels in Manila.
Wow, social.
Oo, syempre, we try to give our participants a VIP treatment.
And you know, I experienced it, and it's true. The VIP and very safe, and talagang all you need to do is just follow the tour. Napaka-organized and
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And we are doing this. We are doing the early promotional activities because our Consul General has been designated as the coordinator for this year's Ambassadors Tour.
Wow.
So siya ang leader, and then we also would like to maintain being recognized as the top-notcher for bringing the most number of applicants from Honolulu alone.
Yes.
So
yes.
sana tuloy-tuloy tayo pagiging number 1.
Yes, very well said, and congratulations on that, Consul Joy.
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, and once again, we are ending now our Conjun's Corner, and maraming salamat sa inyong pagbigay ng informasyon.
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, and we greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to next week's update and news.
Next week.
Yes. So,
Okay.
thank you very
Yes.
much, and mabuhay kayo dyan.
Mabuhay din kayo.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is Consul Joylene Santos from the Philippine Consulate General of Honolulu, calling in and informing us about what is happening with the consulate and the DFA, the Department of Foreign Affairs. I know that many of the Filipinos here in the United States want to contribute and they want to work towards a better Philippines. Pero it seems as though you will have to renounce your U.S. citizenship to work for the Philippine government. But if that is what you want to do and that is your calling, then please visit the good people dyan sa ating, what can I say, Barangay Consulado. Dyan po. And by the way, sa mga Mocha Boys, kamusta po kayong lahat? And I know we have some new new officers or new staff that came in. Mabuhay. Nakilala ko kagabi si Jeff de Mesa and also si Lando. Anyway, mabuhay po kayong lahat and welcome to Honolulu. And I'm sure you're gonna enjoy your stay dito po sa Hawaii. Kasi po, ito po ang isang estado na napakadaming Pilipino at parang nasa Pilipinas ka na rin. So, welcome and thank you. Thank you for all your work. And thank you to Attorney Roda Yabes Alvarez and thank you to Queen of Hearts who came in and gave a blistering performance for the local artist spotlight. Gusto ko ring imbitahin kayo mga kababayan starting on Monday, January 4th. Sa midday program dito po sa KPHI Pinoy Power Radio. Ito po si Alan Alvarez nagpapasalamat at nagsasabi na mabuhay ang Pilipino sa Hawaii.
96.7 FM, AM 1130, OC 882, KPHI Pinoy Power Radio.
Do you know anyone who suffers with diabetes, high cholesterol, gout,